Hello everyone, my name's Tom and we've had to do a lot of things differently this year, and one of the things that we've recognised that you've missed out on is the opportunity to meet our principal, Michelle Brabner. We'd like to take this opportunity and put this video together to ask some of the most commonly asked questions that we get, and so we're going to do that here this morning. Hello Michelle.
Hi Tom, nice to see you again.
Thanks so much for joining us here this morning. And the first question that I'd love to ask you is, what is the best thing about being principal here at KGV?
That's a fabulous question. Why do I love being principal at KGV College? I think working in a college like KGV is really, really special because you're having the opportunity to work with a great team of staff, some fabulous teachers, progress tutors, all of whom are here and dedicated to helping our young people, our students, to achieve their dreams and their successes. And at the end of the day, if you work in education, that's really what it's all about. KGV is a wonderfully special place. We've got the opportunity to provide such a range of courses for students, but at the same time being a lovely, warm, family-based environment where everybody's known and everybody's taken care of and allowed to excel and achieve. So who wouldn't love the opportunity to have a job like that really on a daily basis?
So a big part of starting sixth form college is the difference from school. So do you mind just explaining some of the differences that they might be able to expect from school to starting here at KGV?
Yeah, absolutely, because it is a really important question. I think one of the main differences between school and when you enter a sixth form college like ours at KGV is you are being treated as a young adult because you are making that move from school into a college environment. So what that does mean is that you will be able to take a bit more responsibility for your own learning. You have the opportunity to do simple things like actually speak with your teachers and your tutors and call them by their first names, which is often quite different for people from school environments and can take a little bit of time to get used to, but it's a way of being treated as a young adult, as I said. There are different flexibilities around your timetable as well, so obviously you'll be studying a range of different subjects, and that does mean that sometimes you will have study periods in between classes and you have the time to do independent study and either work in our library learning centre, or you can choose to work from other places such as home and so on. And of course you don't have to wear a uniform. So whilst some of our areas such as sport, for example, may have a team outfit and so on, there's not a school uniform, so that makes it feel really quite different. I think one of the other important things in terms of being in a college environment rather than being in school is you take responsibility for making sure that you are punctual, that you are attending your classes. However, I've also got to say, you've still got that backup and support of all of your teachers, your progress tutors, all of the staff, just keeping a very gentle eye on what you're doing. And of course, always keeping parents and guardians suitably informed if needed. But first and foremost, it's about you as the young person taking responsibility as an adult for all of your achievements and your successes. Everything we're doing is about prepping you as the young person, as a student, for the next stage in your life, whether that be university, an apprenticeship, going directly into employment.
As we know, college is all about learning and developing our knowledge and skill sets in a particular range of subjects. So for a lot of pupils, the decision about what they're going to study at college can often be quite a daunting sort of decision-making process. So what would your advice be to somebody who isn't quite sure about what they want to study at college?
Yeah, I think one of the exciting things about moving into a sixth form college is that all of a sudden there is a much bigger range of subjects to select from, some of which won't have been offered in school. So very often things like psychology, sociology, criminology all of a sudden become options to you. And so you're right, it can be daunting to know exactly what to do. So what would my advice be? I think I would always say when you're learning about something, it's really important that you've got a genuine interest in it. So I would always take into consideration what subjects you already feel that you're interested in, that you enjoy, that you think might really spark something off inside that makes you think, yeah, that would be a great thing to study. So definitely consider that aspect of things. It's also sensible to consider what your strengths have been in school and allow yourself to try something new, but perhaps take careful consideration of what things you can also excel in. it's also important to bear in mind that these are always stepping stones. So whatever you're doing in your sixth form college is a stepping stone to your next thing after that. So have in mind perhaps where you want to go to in the future, although many of us at 16 were not entirely sure what we wanted to do, and that's fine. So have some thoughts about that, but don't worry if you haven't got a very fixed plan. There's loads of people to help you with these sorts of decisions. We've got a fabulous guidance team in the college. They are available to you to speak to and to understand which subject combinations might work for you, which ones are maybe essential to a particular route or pathway, employment, university place that you want to go into. So I think just take your time with it, talk to people, consider what excites you, consider what can work for you, and try things out a little bit. We're going to have some exciting things that you can get involved in, some summer challenges, some workshops and so on, and do a bit of reading around, looking on the website, find out a bit more about them. But take your time, talk to people, and go with your heart, I think, with many of the choices.
Excellent. So one of the other things that could be quite confusing, both for pupils and for parents, is actually the difference between A-levels and BTECs. Do you mind just explaining a little bit about the differences between them and obviously the benefits of each of them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing to say is whether you're thinking of studying A-levels or vocational qualifications such as the BTEC options or some of the alternative vocational options, they're all actually at the same level. So they're all what we call level 3 qualifications, which means that actually they can all take you on to university places or indeed moving into sort of higher level apprenticeships, etc. So they're all at the same level. They actually refer really to more, I suppose, the way in which you learn and the styles of assessment. So traditionally, A-levels are very much your subjects where they're quite pure in their nature, often assessed largely, mostly through exams at the end of the qualification, and you get the traditional gradings of A through to E, which we're all very, very familiar with. In terms of the vocational qualifications, they tend to have some slightly different styles of assessment and different styles of learning in them. So some of our vocational qualifications are perhaps a little bit more hands-on in their learning, still have theoretical aspects to them, so still got classroom-based elements too. But the assessment is more of a combination of coursework as well as some practical skills, but they do still have external assessment. So some can be an exam and others are an externally set assessment that's completed within a classroom environment. So just a little bit more varied in nature. The wonderful thing about having the option at our college of both A-level and the vocational qualifications is really we can help young people, we can help our students to find what really works for them so that they get the greatest success out of their time with us and therefore the best options for moving forwards.
And here at KGV we also offer a mixed study programme. Do you mind telling us a little bit more about that?
The mixed study programme is a really great opportunity to combine A-level subjects with some of our level 3 vocational options so that you can really still access university. They carry the same weighting, they carry the same what we call UCAS tariff points, so the points you need to go into university. But it gives you a range of different options and introduces some new subjects. So really it means that for you as the person choosing what you want to study in the sixth form college, you just have more options, more ways of actually learning, different ways of being assessed so that you get the best possible grades at the end of your time with us and therefore the greatest opportunities for moving forwards.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I hope you found that useful. If you've got any other further questions, please do feel to get in touch with us, and thanks very much for watching.